Well, we're now at the Common, which used to be the Midland Mall. The owner was forced to do some serious renovations. Let's take a look inside, shall we? If we can. Right away, as you step in, you'll notice that it definitely looks a lot better. Nice new floors, and definitely more appealing. Unfortunately, the wedding place wound up closing over to the right. However, they're not quite done with the renovations yet. They do seem to have more tenants than when I was here doing the initial video. Again, there's the wedding place that unfortunately closed. And there's the staircase. They got rid of the escalator. There might have been a second one next to it or somewhere else. And now we take a look down to see, and we trip here. The phone almost went over the edge. You can see the new staircase going in, because they never finished the floors, at least now. Should be something there to warn people not to cross that. Anyway, as we're going by, the audio is slightly muted and totally muted in spots altogether, and other places, depending on how loud and obvious it is. Anyway, we stop here, and there used to be dead office space up there. Now there's a gym. Although, might be an issue if you're handicapped. You'll see that later on. Other than that, they seem to have better tenants, because one of the things that the owner was forced to do was to upscale, and they definitely have with wine stores and what have not. And there's a vintage clothing store at the end that's still there, which is good. I didn't get the best of looks, and this place actually does have a small arcade. Get a look at it when we come back. The tattoo parlor, and you can see the glass there. That used to be a wooden railing with an oval looking down. There's a couple of those. So they still have the holes through the floors that you can look down into the lower level. There's a retro clothing store. So now we are heading down into the basement, which, when I was here last, it was very empty and very foreboding. It was kind of creepy. I mean, the whole mall was creepy, but definitely was then. And that is the elevator for handicapped access, plus an exit. There appears to be a few places down here now. Used to be loaded with a bunch of dead churches, or appear to have been. You can see they've made it look just as good as it is upstairs, and in fact there's one of those holes that allow you to look up. So it definitely looks a lot better. Doesn't have that creepy vibe like it used to. Yeah, well, maybe a hair, just because there's almost nothing and there's nobody down here. But overall, the appearance is way better. You can see the stairs are still there under work. And definitely the floors are not finished, although they've been working on this building for quite a while, so who knows when or if that'll get finished. I've been here like over a year ago, and the building wasn't open yet, but most of the interior that you could see through the doors looked more or less done. So a year later, and this is the point that it's at. In some ways, it has come a long way. In other ways, he needs to finish up. Probably should finish up quickly, because, again, there's areas you could trip up if you're looking straight ahead and not exactly where you're going, because the floor ain't finished or marked off. Anyway, let's head upstairs, and we're going to use the elevator this time. They have They've put a new accent wall in, however, they really need to paint the doors. It looks terrible. And the dead freight elevator is still there, and just for the heck of it, I pressed the buttons. They were kind of painted on. Anyway, let's take a trip up the elevator, which doesn't have a floor counter. They need to replace the floor. They destroyed it. See what's on the third if the doors close. Elevator needs some work. And nothing. Second floor is where the gym is. Okay, so apparently mall is the only one we can go to. And nice that you have a closed building, a closed space, that you can't get to the elevator if you're handicapped. Kind of a misstep there. And back up the stairs we go. And once again, looking at something that was there, didn't quite get a good look at it. There were actually several people here, so I kind of had to move. The coming soon, that might actually have been a door to the elevator and there wasn't a space there, but it kind of looked like that there was. So if that is indeed an exit, it needs to be marked. Anyway, we came to the mall rats, and if you got a quick look, bet you probably couldn't recognize who that mouse or rat actually supposed to somewhat look like. Anyway, we got several arcade machines. A lot of them are not original cabinets. Some of them are cabarets. And some of them had their monitors replaced, like The Simpsons. Yep, those games are getting old, so getting to that point. And again, passing the winery there. So they definitely have upgraded, which the city, of course, as I mentioned, wanted them to do. And that's more or less what the Midtown Mall kind of looks like right now. So, heading outside, and final thoughts. I say, what a major improvement to what this place used to look like, the Midtown Mall. The only bad thing is they got rid of the Woolworth storefront, the facade, but where there was empty office space is now a gym, which there's no access to. And Christmas music blaring from City Hall, so we had to mute. They just need to get handicapped access to the gym. Probably a work in progress. That's the new Midtown Mall, The Common. Georgia 551 saying, hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.